Hey everyone, welcome to the House of Ambu. I hope everyone's having a great day today. And today I'm here to rank all of the MCU projects. So that includes movies and the shows. So there's a lot to get to. And I figured we might as well save the best for last. So let's start off with the worst. Let's get out the way and I'll see how much I can explain about these shows and movies. Coming in at the 49th spot, we have Echo. And really, I just have nothing to really say about this show. I just don't think I generally took away anything from this show. The really only good things I really liked were like the cinematography, the acting was good, I guess. Kingpin was cool, but they kind of ruined his character, especially with the ending. And I mean, we did get like a minute of screen time with Daredevil, so that was cool. That was probably the best thing of the show. So yeah, pretty bad. At the 48th spot, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Ant-Man 3, probably the worst, not even probably, definitely the worst MCU movie I've ever seen. It's just terrible. Like, the plot was terrible. I can't even give it points to the CGI because the CGI wasn't even that good either, so that really did suck. And it's kind of disappointing. I kind of really liked the first two Ant-Man movies. I mean, the second one was a little bit mid, but the first one was pretty solid. But just to have this disaster of a movie, I really don't even think I liked anything about this movie. I really just have to give it points for like the acting, and that's really about it. On to the 47th spot, I think that could easily be The Incredible Hulk. I did not like this movie at all. It just was not good. I mean, like, it was cool to see the Hulk. The CGI was definitely good for its time. 2008, it looked amazing, but just the plot, I just did not find it interesting. It just wasn't that good to me. The acting was a little bit hit or miss. There was definitely some corny lines of dialogue that I definitely didn't like. But overall, it just wasn't a good movie. And it was definitely my worst MCU movie until Ant-Man 3 came out. So they've been able to top their worst movie. So congrats to Marvel for that. But I think even though this is tricky, I think I have to do Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, how it's already sorted. It's just, honestly, I was really hyped for the movie. I really liked the first Doctor Strange movie. I think it's a really solid movie, like up there with Iron Man 1. And I didn't know anything about Doctor Strange, and they managed to make me like the character. But Multiverse of Madness, I really did just expect more from this movie, and they just didn't deliver. I know it's a bit controversial of whether people like Wanda as the villain. I think she did a good job as the villain, and even though she did a good job as a villain, I don't think they should be making her the villain of every single Marvel project from now on. Marvel Zombies, but it was cool to see, I guess, like a good guy as the villain, and I like the horror aspects of it. But again, like kind of like these last couple movies, I really didn't take away anything from it. And since the whole movie focused on more of Wanda, I felt it was more of a Wanda movie than an actual Doctor Strange sequel to what it's actually supposed to be. So really disappointing. And I know people got mad that they killed off the X-Men and stuff, but I mean, I wasn't really too mad about that. It was more just plot things, and just making it a Wanda movie is what really bothered me a lot. Also, this review, all of this is gonna contain spoilers if that isn't obvious. So I definitely wouldn't recommend watching all of these, but if there's some that are interesting to you, make sure you watch those first before I go into those. So I think for the 45th spot, it's gonna have to go to Secret Invasion, which I mean, I wouldn't even say I had high expectations going in, but the concept did seem cool. I'm not sure if this is based off any comics, but I know there's squirrels in the comics and stuff like that, and I definitely know that MCU branched off from the comics in that aspect, which really pissed off a bunch of people. And honestly, I just don't really remember that much about the show. It's just felt really generic and pretty mid compared to everything else. I'm pretty sure it started off pretty strong. It's been a while since I watched it, but I just remember the last couple episodes and the finale just really bothered me, rubbed me the wrong way. And yeah, it was pretty garbage. I gotta give this to Black Widow because, well, it was a decent movie, but I was never really a Black Widow fan, and I just really just didn't see the point of getting a Black Widow prequel. I mean, I guess it was cool, but it just really didn't feel necessary to me. And then they kind of screwed up Taskmaster. I'm not too big on Taskmaster. I haven't seen that many of the comics, but from what I know from Taskmaster, I did expect a lot more from Taskmaster. Taskmaster being like, well, just not that, to be honest. But yeah, the plot was alright. It was nice to see some of Black Widow's family and stuff, but overall, just decent movie. Nothing too crazy. So at the number 43 spot, we have The Marvels, which I gave a 2.5. As you can see, I really don't have much good to say about this movie either. I mean, I did like the cinematography, like how some parts of the show, it looks like straight out of a comic book. I thought that was like a really cool design detail that they did, and I just really like that stylistic choice they chose for that. Other than that, just, the entire plot was just not interesting for me. I know, like, in the comics, well, I haven't read the comics, but I know, like, she's supposed to have, like, stretch powers, and they changed it to just, like, cosmic bango or whatever. I mean, I thought it was alright. I wasn't too big of a fan, but I didn't also hate it. I'm just more of a plot-centered person, and this just did not have the plot for me, even with the backstory of the bango and stuff. It just wasn't appealing at all. And talking about the Marvels, or a Marvel, we have Captain Marvel at spot number 40, which I did watch this movie twice, and I really do think this movie gets worse the more times you see it, once you already know the plot twist, or if you read the comics and you know the plot twist of the Skrulls, and I can't even remember the other people's names, but the Kree, yes, the Kree. Yeah, I feel like once you already know that, it's just not that good of a movie. And just, I mean, Kira was cool, I guess. I wasn't, like, really into her character. It just felt like we gotta introduce a strong character so that she could fight Thanos in Endgame. And, yeah, it's just not that good of a movie. Nick Fury was cool to see, but, oh, and Talos, but that's really it. It really had some slow pacing, and yeah, just wasn't that good of a movie. So at the 39th spot, we have Hawkeye. And honestly, I wasn't that big of a Hawkeye fan, but I actually genuinely liked this show. I mean, it wasn't the best show ever, but I thought it definitely had some cool aspects. Seeing Hawkeye, his PTSD and stuff that he encountered, and just learn more about his character in general. And Kate Bishop I definitely liked her character a lot. She was probably like the best thing I liked about this show, because the plot was a little iffy, and kind of like Echo, they kind of ruined Fisk's character again. So that definitely did suck. The plot was mid. I do think it was a really enjoyable show, and it was just a fun watch through of just seeing Hawkeye and Kate, their dynamic. But yeah, that was just, the characters really carried the show for me. I guess the pacing could have been worse, but I just really needed a stronger plot. If this is a placeholder for what if, but the amount of potential this show could have had is just crazy, and they just wasted all that potential. Like, it just really would have been cool to get some of these cool concepts that we've never seen in the MCU. Like, what if the other half snapped? Or just something cooler than, like, Howard the Duck. Like, it just gets to a point. I mean, I do like how they try to, like, combine the plot lines of each season, but, like, even still, I'd rather them just have concise stories for, like, one episode and really, like, dive deep on those characters and those actual, like, storylines. But yeah, it had a couple good episodes. I definitely have to agree with the majority of the people of how they kept bringing Captain Carter in as, like, a main character and making her really overpowered. It's just got really repetitive, and yeah, it's sad about the wasted potential. I mean, the animation and fights were cool. I definitely liked Infinity Ultron, but that's really it. It's only like 3 good episodes each season. It could have been way more. Now, at spot 37, we're entering the average territory. We have Thor: The Dark World, which, to be honest, I really just can't even talk about much of Thor. I'm just not that big on Thor. I honestly did not like Thor until Infinity War. I thought that was the coolest thing we've seen of Thor. Well, actually, Ragnarok. I'll say Ragnarok was pretty cool, and then Infinity War I really did start really liking this character. And then came Love and Thunder, so yeah, I just not big of a Thor fan. This movie just felt like an average superhero movie of the time, and just felt like they just had to finish the trilogy, so that's what they did by producing this. So not much else I can really say about this. So for 36, I could go either way with Agatha or Marvel Zombies. And before people get mad, I think Marvel Zombies is really overhyped. I think people are just excited that we finally got some decent content. I think people are just really excited that we got some decent content in the MCU. And so they're really glazing this show. But in reality, it's just not that good. I just feel like the plot was just not it. They could have spent more time on it. I know it was a shorter series, but just some of the things, I felt like there was a lot of plot holes, like with Shang-Chi's dad, him just giving up his rings to save him, just felt really out of character. And sure, it was cool to see these characters interact, and that we never did, so it was kind of to help us feel excited for like Doomsday, but the plot was just not that good. And Wanda as a villain again, who could have seen that coming? So yeah, just wasn't it for me. Animation was cool, fights was cool, Spider-Man was cool. I wish we got see more of Spider-Man, and I just wasn't that big of a fan of the ending. I definitely feel like it could have been better. So yeah, I'll put it at the 36th spot. Now, Agatha All Along, spot number 35. I know people can get mad at that, but I think it's a pretty solid show. I think witches in general is just a really cool concept, and how they're trying to bring this into the MCU. I mean, I guess this could go for like most of the stuff I ranked already. We didn't really need this, but I think it was cool. And not just because of Agatha, but I think just seeing Billy. I know he's a bigger character in the comics, so I want to see where the MCU goes with that. But I really liked seeing Billy's like backstory. Like, that episode was amazing in my opinion. Probably the best part of this show. The magic was pretty cool, but I just didn't really enjoy Agatha. Her character felt like it was just all over the place. I don't really see what they were trying to make us feel towards her, like if they want us to hate her or like her. But along with the side characters, I just was not interested in all of them. Like, Billy was probably the only thing I really cared about this show. I also didn't like the Witch's Road. I felt like the trials were really boring. I don't know that much about like witch mythology or lore, but honestly, I just expected something just more exciting. Like, it's magic. I feel like you could do a lot more than some boring trials where you gotta make potions and stuff. So bit of a waste of potential. It was cool to see Billy though, so that definitely carried the show for me. Before we have Eternals, like I said before, these are just average, decent movies. I mean, I think the movie was alright. I mean, I just didn't really care about any of these characters, and we just never seen them again until like Brave New World is when they started connecting things. It's just wow. The plot was alright. CGI and the fights were cool. I definitely like the Speedster character. I think her name started off like an M. I can't really remember, which is probably a bad sign and probably why it's down here. But yeah, it just felt like they were trying to force us to like these characters, and they just introduced these random OP characters out of nowhere, so it's kind of hard for me to like them. But the plot twist was pretty cool. But other than that, it's just alright movie, solid movie. So 3 out of 5. Okay, so number 33, 32. I guess I could go either way. I know this is really going to be controversial, but I actually enjoy She-Hulk. I don't really see where the hate is. I guess because it tried to switch things up and not follow the same basic MCU show format. And I guess that's why people don't like it, but I like the show. It was pretty. I'm not saying it's like the greatest show of all time or anything crazy, but it was a solid show, you know. I like She-Hulk's character. She was pretty cool. I like the Bruce Banner cameo. And I just like the general concept of a lawyer. The Daredevil cameo was really cool too. Can't go wrong seeing Daredevil. And I don't know, I just liked how we got to see like how the world reacts normally. I think it's just cool how we got to see how the world reacts to these supernatural stuff, like how it affects people on a day-to-day basis, which I really feel like they could have dove in deeper, but I think that's what they were really trying to do. I would have loved it even more personally if they did that, but I think it still turned out pretty good. The villains definitely could have been better. That's definitely a big complaint I have, but it was a fun, enjoyable show. Not much more to it. All right, number 33. I know I said I don't really like Thor, so I was really thinking about putting it below, but I'll definitely have to do Falcon the Winter Soldier. It's just the wasted potential. It's just, that's what most of these shows, it really just is sad, which is kind of funny because all the shows are kind of towards the bottom of the list, so I don't know, I think it's a sign. But honestly, I really did like the start of this movie. Sam trying to deal with just the responsibility being Cap, and if he really deserved it. Sam and Bucky's dynamic was really cool. I definitely like seeing Walker. He was really cool. And honestly, I think he could have been the main antagonist of the entire show. But no, they decided to go with a group of people that were definitely had the right ideals, you know. Ideals with wanting to go back to like how things were with the snap. Some people, you know, just were in a better spot before that, and now the world's kind of hurting again with all these people coming back out of nowhere, like 5 years later. But you know, of course they had to make her bomb a hospital. So yes, make the person with good ideals do something bad to make us hate her. So yeah, so they're just fighting a teenage girl or whatever the entire show. So that's really just my main complaint about the show. It started off really strong though. I just wish it could have been better. It really is a bunch of wasted potential. Alright, now we got at the 31st spot, Thor. It was cool, I guess. Like I said, I'm not much of a Thor fan. It's just, I don't know, none of the movies really interested me. I guess maybe I had to read the comics beforehand, but I don't know. Iron Man, I never read the Iron Man comic, but I like the Iron Man movies a lot. I never read the Doctor Strange comic, but I like the Doctor Strange movie, or the Doctor Strange movie. Definitely not Multiverse of Madness. But yeah, I mean, it was a solid movie, and really lots of movies at this time. This is going to sound repetitive, but it's just like a standard superhero movie. There's not really much to it.